From its reveal last June to the torturous months of waiting and various teases, Resident Evil Requiem is finally upon us at long last. It's an auspicious occasion for many fans of the series. Between 2026, marking the 30th anniversary of the series, we finally return to Raccoon City, decades after its destruction, an event that would influence almost every single entry afterwards. There are secrets to discover, old friends to reunite with, and new threats to conquer. But for longtime veterans, the rules of survival still apply. Unlike prior entries, you're not just going all out with guns blazing or simply slinking through environments trying to save every single last bullet. Instead, Requiem combines the two playstyles, and it can be downright delicious even as you fight for your life. Let's dive into 15 things you should know when playing Requiem and how to emerge unscathed from the nightmares within. Tactical Coward. If it wasn't clear enough from all the pre-release footage, Grace's sections are more focused on stealth. That means avoiding combat whenever you can, conserving ammo, as is the survival horror way, and getting past enemies. You should only really be fighting enemies as a last resort, given her limited ammo and weaponry. We all fall down. Thankfully, there are some intuitive ways to help save ammo and minimize any harm to Grace. When encountering zombies, always aim for their legs, in traditional Resident Evil fashion, dealing enough damage to bring them to a knee. You can then follow up with a melee strike to knock them flat. Even if the target isn't dead, you can easily go for headshots to finish them off. But it's also ideal for just making space and rushing past if necessary. Hunter and Prey. The creature pursuing Grace, the series' latest stalker, is a ruthless figure. Not only can she leverage any openings to quickly reposition, but she also sniffs out the player with startling efficiency. Fighting her in the early goings is a no-win scenario, so pay attention to her routes and then sneak past when you can. Of course, you have another method that can make things easier, namely, into the light. As brutal and unrelenting as the stalker can be, she's also sensitive to light. We're talking full-on skin burning if exposed to any illumination. You can use this to your advantage by luring her into rooms with light, thus dealing damage. The problem? It recognizes this and will break light sources whenever possible, and no, Grace's lighter is not enough to ward her off. Solemn Lament. Thankfully, there is one more option that becomes available later on, the Requiem. This powerful revolver dishes out enough damage to pierce through multiple zombies and annihilate them in a single shot. It's only good for temporarily stunning the stalker, but that still provides a few seconds to run away, which could be invaluable. Taking and leaving items for the other. One of the more intriguing ways Resident Evil Requiem uses the dual protagonist setup is in the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center. Since Grace and Leon effectively explore the same environment, one character can leave items for the other. Slain enemies won't appear when controlling the other, but this only applies to the normal zombies. Furthermore, it's only for items, and there's no cross-puzzle solving. So in case you get stuck, don't go looking at the other character for the solution. The strategy should thus be clear. Move stealthily as Grace, and when controlling Leon, rip and tear through the hordes courtesy of his portable arsenal. Exploration is mandatory. If you've played a Resident Evil game before, then make no mistake, exploration is just as important here as anywhere else. The core gameplay loop revolves around effectively mapping out the surrounding area, especially when finding the solution or items needed for puzzles. If you ever feel stuck, it always pays to venture off the beaten path. Mapping high and low. Speaking of mapping, whether you're playing as Leon or Grace, check the map often. It's for more than just helping you find your way. It's also good for revealing additional information about the area. For example, if you left behind any items or ran into locked doors, they'll be marked on the map for future reference. Returning to them later thus becomes much less of a hassle. Stacking lockpicks. If you're confused about what other items Grace should carry aside from the usual ammo and healing, Go for lockpicks. Her inventory space is smaller than Leon's, so you'll need to rely on discovering items and crafting to help offset that. Locked drawers can contain resources and ammo, so make sure you're hoarding as many lockpicks as possible when controlling Grace. Hemolytic injectors are essential. The hemolytic injector is a new item crafted by Grace from the blood of her fallen enemies, and while it may not seem all that special compared to, say, more ammo, it can instantly kill infected enemies while preventing them from mutating into blister heads. For a stealthier playstyle, which Grace is fully geared towards, it's downright essential. Craft smart. Regardless of the character, you should be utilizing crafting to its fullest. With how much firepower Leon is packing, you can never have enough ammo. The same goes for Grace, even if you're opting for stealth now and again with hemolytic injectors. With how many resources are available to craft items, especially for healing, you should be leveraging them at every available opportunity. Collect intel files. If you're really keen on knowing about everything that's going on in Requiem, and trust us, there's a lot, then keep an eye out for any files. Both characters have their own to collect, and they'll shine a light on the lore while fleshing out the bigger picture. Who knows, you may even stumble across a few familiar references here and there. Credits and unlocking Leon's upgrades. Eventually, Leon can earn credits. Aside from credit bans, eliminating enemies can also net them, and as you'd expect, they're used to upgrade your existing weapons to make them much more potent. However, you're probably better off purchasing armor first to improve survivability before investing in more damage. Play it by ear depending on your skill and dodging abilities, but being able to tank more hits is always a plus. Customizing camera settings. Requiem is the only game in the series to offer first and third-person camera perspectives, regardless of whether you're playing as Grace or Leon. You can swap these at any time by going to the camera tab in the options menu. But that's not all. There are also specific options for each type to adjust, including camera wobble, inversion, and camera sensitivity. If something feels off, mess with these settings and find the one that best suits you. Unlockables. In standard Resident Evil fashion, you'll earn completion points to use in an extra content shop. This unlocks different models, but fans will likely be more interested in the additional weapons, some with infinite ammo, and items. Unlocking this also requires completing specific challenges, however, so you'll need to put those skills to the test and properly optimize runs, especially in the Chronic Care Center when planning routes for Leon and Grace. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.